phone just for the simple fact that I have not quite figured out how to do it where I can see it right here on my screen. But again, that comes with me and my shenanigans of trying to figure
I
this stuff
might as
out.
well read the
There's
comments
something
on
called Docs on OBS, and it has something for chat.
Ah, okay. Good looking out, Andrew.
It's a little like tab at the top. You just click it and it does it for you.
Oh my God, he's right there. I see it.
I don't have to worry about the comments, right? Because my laptop has
I'll read them because I got my phone up, so that's cool. Like I'm looking at it, the stream right now, and I can see it, so it's kind of funny.
Is the live stream
hey, Carla. Carla's on. Carla's our CFO for AHC, so she's in attendance.
We'll give it a few minutes for everyone to come, and then I'll introduce.
Yeah. Yep.
Sounds good.
Hello, welcome, guys. We're gonna give everybody a couple of minutes to join, and then we'll get started. So, y'all have to excuse me. I'm just gonna give a disclaimer. I'm nervous, so if y'all see me stuttering over my words, I apologize in advance. Yeah, and also an apology in advance in case a couple of colorful words slide out, because they're my spicy.
Yeah, this is a colorful chat, guys. So colorful words are very much welcome.
Yeah.
Please.
Please so Andrew, my bad in advance.
No, it's all good.
Please don't hate us. We are just nice people with wrong word choice.
Thanks, Carla. So if my spicy sentence enhancers come out from time to time, just my bad, because I don't always have
I'll cover you up.
Yeah, I don't always have a filter. So I do my best to do so in this format, but stuff happens.
I start with the introductions then?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the AHC account. Today, I'm again your host Kanika, and we have the second co-host.
Hi guys, me, Tiffany.
And for today, this is the first guest show, so I'm really happy. I am really excited for Andrew to join us. First of all, thank you so much, Andrew, for agreeing to do this.
Absolutely.
Taking out your personal time to do something like this. I know you could have made some really great content as you do. Thank you for taking this hour out, and you gave out more time before as well while we were discussing everything. So we really appreciate all of this. And yeah, please go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone here.
Yeah. So my name is Andrew Berg. I have a YouTube channel where I react to BTS videos, and made some BTS music explained videos as well recently. I am a jazz musician and music teacher, so I kind of make the videos from that perspective. But I've also done some videos about mental health and how BTS has helped me with that. So I think that's actually what people had mentioned. I was looking back at the original tweet that the Army Help Center had put out. I think that was actually some things people had mentioned, and probably why I was contacted for this was because I'd already kind of done some videos about that and everything. So I'm excited to be here. I am an open book. I'm happy to talk about whatever questions everyone comes up with. But yeah, happy to be here.
Yay! And just FYI, I did hear everything you said. I'm just retweeting so that people know that you're on, and we can get more questions. So I am ear hustling as I'm simultaneously working.
Exactly.
Good. Well, I just want to say, yes, we put out this tweet to see who Army thought would be best suited, or they would love to see us talk to and interview and kind of hang out with. You were one of the first ones, and I'm like, ooh, okay, let's check this out. Let's see. So, and also just I love jazz, so to see that you're a jazz musician, I was like, ooh, right up my
My grandpa is a very big jazz vinyls collector.
Oh, very cool.
So he has kind of like a lot of vinyls in our house. So we also have a vinyl player. So I guess in a way, I kind of grew up listening to a lot of jazz.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yes, thank you. So I one question, since you did state that you're a jazz musician, what instrument or instruments do you play?
Yeah. So so I play the saxophone. It's my primary instrument. So a saxophone, for anyone who doesn't know who's watching, there's more than one kind of saxophone. Like the four main ones are soprano, alto, tenor, and baritone. And so alto is probably my main one that I've played most throughout my life. I played a lot of tenor though in the past. I don't know. I guess it's actually, now I'm thinking about it, it's probably been like half the time I've been playing, so probably like 10 years or so. And I also played baritone sax a little bit in high school. But yeah, I have played clarinet and flute as well. Not extremely well, but enough to get by. And then, yeah, dabbled with guitar a little bit with keyboard. I would say the only instrument I'm proficient in is saxophone, but I have played a lot of instruments.
Still way steps above me, so that's great. So one of the first questions that as Army we all typically ask, and so for people who may not be aware of your story, how did you happen to get into BTS? What possessed you to want to listen to them and react to them?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna take it back just a little bit further in the, I guess, chronology of the story. So when I first made a YouTube channel, I had the idea of making like music theory videos. And what I quickly realized is that there's a lot of music theory videos out there, and it was very tough to get more than like 20 views, maybe 15 sometimes. And so I was looking for different ways just to kind of like, I was just kind of getting like discouraged a little bit, I guess, from making them, just because, you know, just put like 8 hours of time into a video and then, you know, not have anybody watch it really. So I did a couple different things. I ended up doing like reactions to jazz videos. I did a few of those. And then, yeah, after it was probably like 8 months of having a channel, my wife said, why don't you try reacting to some like more popular songs? And I was like, okay, why not? So I did a couple other songs that were popular, and then there was just one day where I was like, I don't know what to react to next. Like I did a couple like Olivia Rodrigo songs before that. But I just looked at the you know, to see what was the like trending song on YouTube, the trending music video, and it was Butter. It had come out the day before, and it had like, you know, 160 million views or whatever it was in less than a day. So I was like, I've never heard of this song, and I'd heard of BTS, but I'd never listened to them before. So I was like, sure, why not? Let's give it a try. And yeah, so I reacted to Butter. And you know, when it started off, it was like, so like, just for a second before I get into like why I became actual Army versus why I reacted to more BTS content, like it started off with just like, I mean, honestly, it really came down to, I was used to getting 20 or so people watching a video to having 35,000 views in the first day when I reacted to Butter. And when I was starting to read through the comments, I had like 1,000 comments at that point probably. And every single person was just saying BTS is more than this. They're more than just Butter. Like, you should listen to some of their other music. Like, they think that you'd like a lot of their stuff because they have other music that is more jazz based. They have things that are rock based. They have all these different things. So like, you shouldn't just think about BTS as being just a pop group. Which, like, I enjoyed Butter. I still enjoy Butter. I think it's a really catchy song, and I enjoy listening to it. But I was like, I probably wouldn't have continued if it wasn't for everyone in the comments just saying, like, they're so diverse of a group. You will find things that you absolutely love, and you'll be ARMY in no time. And I was like, okay, sure, let's see what happens. And I had made a joke, and this joke is actually what led me to continue reacting to BTS, like solidified it for me. In the elevator scene of the BTS Butter music video, I had said, it'd be really cool if there's a saxophone solo here. That was just like, in my head, I was like, that'd be so cool, because I had kind of the instrumental part right there for a second and the keyboard. Mm-hmm. And that night, so 12 hours after I had released that video, the Hotter remix came out. And then I started getting all these comments that were saying, like, there's a saxophone in their thing now. Like, you have to go listen to this. And I was like, no way. Like, there's no way that it worked out that well. So then a week later, because I do a video a week, I was like, okay, I'll react to the Hotter remix. And I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, and that music video was so, like, now I look at it and it's just like so funny and chaotic and so just purely BTS, I think, and just like everything that they were doing. But at the time I was like, this is interesting. They're like not even like, not that they weren't taking themselves seriously, like in a bad way, but just like they were just having fun. And I was like, that's kind of fun. And I remember like a couple moments of like, I think it was Jungkook and Jin that had 2 moments back to back where they were like very like animatedly singing their part to the camera. And I was like, this is really funny. Like, this is like really entertaining. And anyway, that it was that second video that made me like go from like, ooh, I want to do it because everyone's saying that I'm going to enjoy this, to like, I really and genuinely enjoyed that a lot more than I expected to. And I want to see what else they're doing. And then, I just get to like, I think like Singularity is my second song. That I did House of Cards, I think. And I got to like a lot of like the more like lyrical kind of songs. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so good.
It's the Korean lyrics that always snatch you up.
Oh, they do. And I was like, man, they can really sing. And like, I'd watched the live version of House of Cards, and I was like, they can like really sing live. This is great.
Yeah, we all know the story of getting down the rabbit hole. So now that we have gone through this happy moment, I bring you back to what AHC is all about, and that's mental health. So if you don't mind sharing with us, would you like to tell us what your mental state was before you started listening to BTS and being a part of this fandom?
Yeah, definitely. So like one thing I had mentioned is that like that I'd gotten to a point where I was like 8 months in of doing a YouTube channel and getting 20 views or whatever at a time, and I was kind of just like, I was very discouraged from doing that too much further. Also just like in general in life, I didn't realize it for a long time. I didn't realize this thing wasn't a thing that everyone struggled with, but like I've always had anxiety, and specifically tied to a stutter that I have. And so part of the reason that I first made the YouTube channel, I guess, if I go back even further now, without getting too into, I guess, the politics of what was happening in the US at the time, there was a thing that had happened, and I can see by your faces that there was a specific debate that I saw that really, really hit me hard. And seeing someone with a stutter and seeing them being like attacked by someone else, it made me emotional to the point that I was about to make like a video without ever making a video in my life. I was like, I want to make a video about this right now, talking about like how horrible it is. And like, I kind of just realized that like a lot of people don't know don't know what it's like to have a stutter and how that does affect your mental health. Speaking to things of, not only anxiety, which it kind of snowballs with anxiety, but depression is in there as well. So, seeing that kind of thing, I was like, I want to make a video about this, but then I was like, well, I kind of like talked myself out of it and just like ranted on my Facebook page, I think, instead. But I told myself, like, if I ever get an audience that is, quote unquote, big enough, well, whatever that might have meant, if I ever get an audience that's big enough, I want to make a video about like having a stutter and like how it affects your mental health, just like what that feels like, what all the things people don't know, because it's not that it's not talked about, but I think that there's a lot of like misunderstandings with it. There's I can't remember the quote word for word, but there was a quote that I guess President Biden of the United States, I'd seen in like a CNN interview he had given, and he basically said, if you think about it, stuttering is one of the last forms of disabilities that good people still make fun of. And like that quote resonated with me a lot. And like I thought about it more and more, and like then I saw like people that like, like I know, like people who I know are like good people, and like it kind of hit me that like, yeah, that is something that people, that like people use the word stuttering almost like without thinking about that impact. Yeah. Like you wouldn't use like, like the word like depression lightly, kind of thing, but they would use word like stuttering lightly. I'm not saying that those two are equal, but just it was just that kind of thing that like, people don't always think about that side of it. Anyway, so that made me want to make the video. But to get back to your original question of how like, the BTS helped me through that path is, it really just came, I'll say the absolute biggest thing to me was the community of just ARMY basically, but specifically the community that I had like around my YouTube channel. I can confidently say that I have had probably less than 10 like bad comments ever on a video. Like people are just genuinely nice and supportive. And I don't know what it is about my specific channel, but I see other people's channels sometimes and I don't always see it that way. And I was really like glad, and I get like emotional thinking about the fact that like, created that space for people to go to, and that like people are just nice and like supportive and everything. And feeling nice and supported, like, or having that kind of support made me so much more comfortable. It really, to the point now where like, if you look back, like, I don't know, I've had a YouTube channel for maybe 2 years now. So if we look back 2 years ago, I couldn't do a live stream like this. Like I would have never agreed to it. I don't think I would have gotten this far in the live stream. I just was at a really not great mental health space, and that combined with my stutter like made it really, really hard to ever do anything like this. But I just was kind of like, if someone else can do it on a stage in front of millions of people and like still stand strong, like then I can do it on my YouTube channel, and like I can get to that spot, and I can, and I ended up making that video I don't know, sometime earlier this year. I can't remember exactly what month, but so I ended up doing it, and like again, like the support that I received and everything, it really has made me feel comfortable. And like even like now, like my like outside of YouTube life, my professional life, my personal life, I feel more comfortable. I can like speak easier to people. In general, my mental health has improved. Like, everyone has bad days, but like I can say as an overall thing, like most of my mental health struggles have centered around my stutter. So like having that be improved. So I feel more comfortable in front of people and everything now. And it all kind of just stemmed from that, like, because I mean, like, even back to like my first reaction to Butter, it was like an 8-minute video, and it took me probably 3 to 4 hours to record. Like, I just couldn't, I just had spots where I just couldn't speak, and I had to just like wait for half an hour or whatever it was just to get more comfortable and start recording again. Yeah. And then I think now, like, I'm on a live stream. Like, it's such like a huge difference. It still is kind of unbelievable to me at times. I don't like it. It doesn't feel like I just, it's like what's that thing people say, like, wish you could tell, like, past me that it was going to be at this point. That's just kind of how I feel. Like, I never, like, I think of like me in my like early 20s, and like having moments where like I literally just like could not physically pick up the phone to talk to someone. Like, I just couldn't make myself do that. And think of to where I am now, it's like I never in my life thought that I would have gotten to this point. And it all just kind of, like, I would say, like, as much as I truly, truly love BTS, it really was the community of ARMY mostly, which you also say BTS is the ones who pulled in ARMY, so there's that part of it. But like, it really was ARMY first that like got to me and made me feel like this is a place that I belong. And then of course, since then I've listened to songs like Zero O'Clock and Microcosmos and different things, and cried along to them, and Epiphany and First Love. And anyway, I've definitely gotten into that and been like, oh, I see why the community is the way it is. Like, I can see how this got here. But yeah, anyway, sorry. I just spoke for like 10 minutes straight.
I would like to say that I know stutter is it's a deformity, I say, and people usually don't realize that just making fun of it is not the best way to go about it. My younger brother has stutter. Even when I get nervous, I start stuttering. So I kind of get it. Because I don't stutter a lot in usual life, so I have not faced it. But seeing my brother facing it, I can understand how difficult it would have been for you. But I'm really glad that you have came to a point where you are here with us on a live stream. I can see that confidence oozing out of you. Coming to the fact, I have been an avid watcher of your videos for a long while, and I did go back and watched all the videos when you were recommended, right? So I watched all of them again, and that stutter video is something that always brings like tears to my eyes, because it's so emotional and at the same time it's so empowering. I guess your followers would agree to this thing, that when someone opens up about their problems or their issues, it's a little bit easier for others to be like, oh, well, maybe I don't have to hold on to this, and maybe things would get better.
Yeah. And I just am going to read a couple comments. Holly said, Andrew, you are truly an inspiration. And again, disclaimer, if I mess up you guys' names, I apologize in advance. Y'all know I ain't got it together. Delicani says that video is so good, powerful, and helpful. So, obviously, the content that you put out there, a lot of people find comfort in it. A lot of people find strength and inspiration in it. And like Kanika said, like, just you talking about your story and how, where you were mentally prior to and where you are after, you can just, like, the smile on your face as you talk about it, you can just really see how impactful BTS and ARMY has been for you. It just oozes out of you when you talk about it. And I think that's something that happens to any and every ARMY. I think the ones that I've come across personally in my own life, through AHC, when we talk about what BTS has done for us, or in the way that they have helped us grow, whether it is mentally or emotionally or even spiritually for some folks, the glow is
Mhm.
it is abundant. You know what I mean? It's we're speaking that those lessons into existence. We are trying to live them as best as we can. And because only we, know our journey. Only we know where we were prior to BTS, how deep of a hole we may have been in, whether we were in only 2 feet deep or 12 feet deep, or we felt like it was just darkness all the time. To see anybody talk about their journey with BTS and see this light just come from them, just exudes from them, um, without even noticing it happens, right? We just
Yeah.
talk, we beam, we smile, and just listening to your story and just watching your face and your body and how, like, I could see the transition when you were talking about where you were before and kind of reliving that, and then into where you have progressed and just seeing your face transform as you talk about it. Oh, it's so great. I love it. I love it.
No,
I
it's
love it.
no, it is so true though. Like it's like I've had people like either jokingly or seriously ask me like, did you ever expect when you started listening to BTS to feel X or feel like or you ever think that you'd be seeing this like whatever different thing that they'll like mention, and the answer is always no. Like it's like I never in my life thought like I would be talking on a live stream with you guys when I first listened to my first BTS song. It's like I like never could have seen that that path, I guess. And it's just like it's so interesting. Like I mean, like I've now kind of decided that like approximately every 6 months I'm going to be making like a mental health update on my channel. um and like so like the last like video I did about that was I just kind of focused on like specific lyrics from some of their from some of their songs, and like I'd mentioned kind of like the Festa dinner from this past year and or earlier this year, um and just talking about some different things that like inspired me kind of because like it's like you guys have mentioned like it's there's things that are like sometimes just talking about it, if there's even like I kind of see it as like there's even just one person watching who feels something similar or feels like just in some way can relate to it like going into the video, and then by the end is like you're right, like it's like whatever it is, like there is another step past it, and sometimes that's all it takes. Like it said, like for me it was literally just it was watching something on TV that like struck a nerve with me that made me think like almost defiantly like, well, I could do it too, like it was like it got to that. And like sometimes that's all it takes. It just takes like one little thing to spark
That
like
fire.
yeah, exactly. And like
The
for
push
not
up.
for, I mean for like for everyone it's or for not it's it's not always possible for everyone, right? Like you shouldn't feel like like obviously at the flip side, you shouldn't feel like pressured into like making that kind of a change if you're not like mentally ready for it. But it's like I think that a lot of times it's just like it helps just seeing someone who has themselves shown growth and maybe is still, I mean, I think we're all still growing, but like still growing and kind of thinking like I'm somewhere along like I can almost see myself somewhere along that path. So
Mm,
maybe it's possible for me to try and do a path like that as well.
mm.
And again, it's just like if it can help one person, then we're good, right? Like that's all
That's
it
it.
takes. It's
That's it. That's
got to help
As I
spread it.
really it.
said, as I said, your followers, your subscribers would be very much glad that you took this decision and you did what you did. And I mean, saying the fact that updating about your mental health every 6 months, I guess that's a good idea too, because one of the reasons we started with this live chat was that we want people to know that everyone in AHC is not a bot. Like we have feelings and we do feel a lot. And I mean, I'm really glad. Um, but the biggest question of the hour is, who is your bias?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So the
I'm glad you
first,
asked that.
so the first person who I'll say caught my ear, first person who like musically impressed me a lot was Suga, and he is, and then seeing him in Run BTS in just different places, I just relate a lot to him. I like just like the moments where he's like he'll everyone will be doing something like crazy and he'll just kind of like step in like logically and just like do a thing really quick and then kind of like back up. It's just like that. Yes, I feel that so deeply. And then kind of more recently, especially getting into Run BTS, is Jin. Just like the like range. I've said this exact thing before, but the range of Abyss to Super Tuna, it's just like, you know, he's just
Jin,
such like a I can't even explain it, but the two of
Jin is
them
a
are the ones that like I always find myself like drawn towards. So yeah, I would say the two of them.
You actually shocked me because soon as like I had it in my head, I was like, he's gonna say Taeyong. Just
Oh
based on your
yes.
background, the
Mm-hmm.
jazz, I had it in my head. I'm like, is he gonna say Tay? Because
if you were gonna
I
say
feel
Tay,
like he
there
might.
would if you were gonna say Tay, there would have been two Tay biased on this chart. I mean, people who are here from my
Yep.
not so uh, not so open Twitter account, they know how much I freak about. But yeah, we all are at the end of the day OT7s, even if we have our biases.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
be honest. And someone in the chat said when you mentioned sparking a fire, their head went towards Pultorane.
Army and the jokes, it's just it's never a dull moment. We slide them in, and Holly said Jen sneaks up on people. Yes, he
That's true.
does.
He
That's
Jen,
does.
actually
I have to
really true.
say, like when Butter, I'm OT7. Like I feel like, and this is my theory. I tell this to anybody. JK is my ultimate bias, but there's 7 members of BTS because there's 7 days in a week, and so you get
Yes.
them every single day, right?
Yes.
But Butter came in. Butter came, and I was like, okay. And then Jen, and I was like, somebody get this man. He is too close to my age. I need him to. I need him to go about his business. He's cutting up. He's cutting up, and and nobody told him it was okay. Like I'm not okay. So I struggled. I was on the. I drove the struggle bus during Butter era because Jen just
Yeah.
all.
Also, I want to mention it for the people who are watching the live stream that we are open for the questions from you all. So you can joke with us, you can ask any questions from us or Andrew. We'd prefer Andrew because me and Tiff are not that interesting, anyways. So,
Speak for yourself. I think I'm pretty
okay, fine.
freaking
You
interesting.
can ask from Tiff
I think you're
and
both
Andrew.
very interesting. I don't.
So Andrew, I
But
have a question for you while we wait for some questions. But since you're married, first of all,
Mhm.
how long have you been married? And is your wife does she consider herself to be part of Army, or how did you kind of say, hey, come on, come check this out, honey? Like
Yes.
how'd you wheel her in, to be a part of it with you?
Yeah. So we've been married for a year and a half ish, a little less than a year and a half.
Oh, well, congratulations, newlywed.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, what was kind of funny is I had released the Butter video and then the Butter Hotter remix reaction. And then the day that the Hotter remix reaction came out was our rehearsal for the wedding. And the day after was our wedding. And then I was on a honeymoon for 2 weeks. So I just had other videos I'd recorded like a month or two in the past that I put out before I could actually get back to BTS stuff. So it was like, I'm actually like watched Butter to when I could actually get back into their music was like a month. So it was just like a month of me like on like on honeymoon and stuff, or not. We're on a honeymoon for a month, but I mean from when I recorded it until it was about a month before I could get like another video recorded. And yeah, so I was like the entire time I was just kind of like side-eyeing everything, like okay, but I want to watch these things, but like I want to react to them, but I want to watch them, and I had that internal struggle going on. But yeah, as far as my wife being Army, she is absolutely Army, 100%. She's joined me for I'd probably say like a third or a fourth of my videos, so my wife is very much into the Backstreet Boys. So yeah, okay. So I knew that the first song, or that one of the first songs she had to see, had to also be Butter, because I also hadn't seen Dynamite at that point. I hadn't seen Boy with Love, which she also likes those songs a lot. But because when I saw Butter, like it has a lot of that 90s pop flair to it, and I was like, she is going to love this. So first thing I showed her was a live performance of Butter, which her reaction was like, it was a very good reaction.
Actually, she commented, she said, "Oh my God, that's me. I'm the wife. I love it. I love it."
But I really want to know who's her bias.
Oh,
that's the biggest question for any Army. Like, who's your bias?
Yeah, her first bias was RM, and the way she has described it is that she feels like she has a little wagon, and RM is one wheel of the wagon, and J-Hope is the other wheel of the wagon. And the rest of the members are just kind of sitting in the wagon going along.
I mean, RM and J-Hope both are 94 liners, and both have like very different personalities. But
yeah.
I
think definitely RM, I think she first was like, he's like so like well-spoken. He's so like, he's such like a commanding presence. And I think that's definitely what drew her in up front. And then I think what really sold her on J-Hope was the carpool karaoke.
Oh,
I think when she saw that, she was just like, oh my God, he is hilarious and so cute and just a bundle of sunshine. Well,
I would suggest one thing that you both can do together for a content would be watching Namjoon, the God of Destruction compilations. It's one of the best compilations, and I'm pretty sure your wife would like it.
Okay.
It shows Namjoon in a very known, serious way, and as much as we love Namjoon being the leader and being so soft-spoken, him being chaotic is the best chaos in BTS.
Andrew, I have to say, I love your wife. She is in these comments, and
She's like,
feel her. I feel her. So guys, just remember, feel free to ask questions. You can ask questions for Andrew. You can ask questions for Kamika and myself, or just, post comments. We love seeing them. We love interacting with you guys. Plus, it's never a dull moment with Army. So there's always some wonderful things going on in the comments, and I love it.
So now that we are here and we are talking about all these happy moments, I don't know why, but I like to make the mood a little bit sadder. So let's talk about what was your reaction about the notice of enlistment, BTS enlistment for military.
Yeah, so
I don't want you to give us a lot of information, but a little bit.
Yeah. So I mean, what I've kind of said from the beginning about the military enlistment is like, having not been a part of the Korean culture and everything, it's like really hard for me to like give like an opinion, because I know that selfishly, like if I'm just thinking about it like selfishly, I'm like, no, you guys can never go anywhere. We need to have more content coming out. But at the same time, again, that like, I know that that's selfish. And if like, I know that in their culture, it's, kind of an honor to be in the military and everything. And like, from that perspective, I'm like, of course, like do the thing that like you. I mean, whether they like, I actually think they said that they like are like willing and happy to do it if they like that was going to happen, and like I'd say like, of course, that's like what if that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. And I always kind of have stood by the point of like, only they know what's best for themselves. So if like they're happy with the decision and they're going through it, then like all I can do is support them in that way. But selfishly, I was very sad, and I want them to all just like release like an album every week. So it definitely goes both ways.
Yeah. So we have.
Well, my reaction was I'm sad, but I'm really, really proud.
Yeah.
So we have a couple questions. Actually, they're both kind of similar. So Annie, Christine, and Holly both were asking, like, what kind of things are you hoping for the upcoming solos, and whose solo are you most excited for?
Ooh, okay. So I would say the one I'm most interested in to see what's going to happen is Yoongi, is Suga or Augusti. But just because like I've seen Daeshita, but then I've also seen like what he did for like the Over the Horizon like ringtone for Samsung, like a classical like movie score almost. So like in my perfect world, what I imagine for like one iconic track is for it to be as grand as like an epic movie score, but that just has him rapping over it. And I think that would just be awesome.
Well then if you have not heard it yet, I'm just going to tell you right now, you should listen to First Love.
Yes, I have heard First Love. Yeah.
I mean, you should listen to Seesaw as well. It's so not Yoongi, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah. So okay. I have to say, I'm JK biased, so of course, obviously, I'm looking forward to him. But honestly, I just am excited for all of them, just to see what they dive into as separate artists. Because we know that all of them have different musical taste and influence. So I'm really just kind of excited to see what they're capable of doing on their own with their own musical taste. Like J-Hope's album, like let me tell you, don't, for anybody, disclaimer guys, disclaimer, do not listen to a new solo or any kind of work driving, like when you got somewhere to go, okay? Because I was absolutely, and again, for our younger viewers, please put your earmuffs on. I was losing my shit, okay? Like I was driving. I can't even, I think I was going to meet somebody for lunch or something, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to listen to J-Hope's new album. And I was in there, and I'm like, oh, like, on the expressway, right? Just dipping in and out of just, oh, man, like, oh, no, he didn't. Oh, my God, is that Wu-Tang? Like, not just be at home first. Be at home first.
Yeah.
So the initial crazy wears out, and then go about your journey. But I mean, thank God I didn't get a ticket. I didn't get pulled over, but I was just in my car, and then Holly, facts. Hobie Palooza, I will never. That's in my hometown of Chicago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's in my hometown of Chicago, and I love Chicago. And I was like, I have family, like maybe. And then I thought about it, and I was like, I don't want to be around all those people. Like, it's thick. It's thick with a lot of folks, right? But
for
disclaimer,
me,
y'all, don't listen and drive.
For me, when it comes to the solo work, I guess I'm kind of excited for everyone. I'm not going to lie. I've saved up money so I can buy all of the albums or whatever comes in. Like I bought the J-Hope's vinyl. I've already ordered Jin's thing as well. The reason being, I guess all of them, we have seen their personalities are so different from each other, right? And it just makes more sense to know that they're going to make music which is not just going to be constricted into one thing. And maybe just because stay biased, and also because I've been starving for his solo for so long. I mean, it's been what, 2 years of him just telling us that I'm releasing it, but he hasn't released it. That I'm kind of like eagerly waiting for it. Also, I am waiting for art. I mean, I love Mono so much that it's not healthy. If I
It's
see
healthy in
anything,
army terms.
it's healthy in army terms, but in normal people lifestyle, they are like, Kanika, don't you think you have like a very bad obsession with Mono? I'm like, do I? I don't think so. Like, if I can, I'll just paint everything Mono. I need a CD that, like, I need official release of Mono. That's how bad it is. So maybe I'm waiting to see what RM comes up with. With Sugar, I guess I just know it's going to be a banger. I just have that in my bones. It's going to be something that we are not going to expect, because as he said in the Festa dinner as well, that he was trying to get into different like music things, and I'm like, that says something. And well, Jimin is an angel, so I expect angel things from him. So I'm all over, guys. And from JK, I feel like he's gonna make a rock album or something. But as I said, I have zero patience, and I am so freaking excited about all of this.
So, oh,
And
so
I
we have a
remember
couple of
when
comments about your mono, actually. So somebody was like, Carla said she's looking
I
forward to Tay's work as well. And then
happy
they also,
mono anniversary,
yeah.
guys.
And then they said happy monoversary, anniversary. And
I
Diane, she was like, and now that Namjoon just announced / hinted an album coming, I'm electrified. No rest for feelings.
I swear to God, I couldn't get into the IG story a lot because I had to be on the call with Tiff. So, but I am gonna go after this call ends on my Twitter and make theories, because that's what the armies do. But also, I don't want to forget, when Hobie's album released, I was playing it aloud in my lab, and so there was a meeting going on with my professors, and I was on mute. But Jack in the Box was playing very loud in my lab. But I was like, my professor wouldn't know because I'm like on mute. And suddenly, by mistake, I unmute myself. And Arson was playing that time. So everyone in my lab, which is around 25 people, heard Arson for almost 25 seconds, unless until they told me, Kanika, there's a song playing.
You just blessed
in
them
the
for
park.
35 seconds. That's how you see it. You blessed them for 35 seconds.
So you can understand how excited I was. But
So, Andrew, I have a question for you, and it just kind of like came into my head. Since you have spent a majority of your life playing various instruments, but more so focused on the sax, have you attempted to like try to play any of the BTS songs that you've heard?
So I have worked on a couple arrangements that I never ended up putting out because they just like didn't meet like my standard, I guess, as far as like I didn't want to release them because I just thought I could do better kind of thing. But yeah, so I guess to answer the question, I've like arranged a few for like 4 or 5 saxophones, and I'll just like kind of play each part. But yeah, the biggest problem I have right now is like I like whatever I put out to be like the highest quality, something that I'm like, yeah, I did that. And anything that's like less than that, I like never want to put out at all. So so I have recorded some stuff, but I just didn't really like the end product that much. So and I'm kind of working on something else right now as well, which is a little bit even bigger of a project. But the hardest part is just between, like professional life, personal life, and then everything for the YouTube channel just in itself. And I'm doing these like bigger videos now, like the BTS Music Explained is what I call it, where it's like a ton of research and like time and stuff goes into it that my time for like recording the perfect version just, it
just release what you got, honey. Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first. Andrew done came up with some stuff and he got it hiding in the vault.
Dave, can you block this new account that just came on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't do this.
I know, Holly. They should be really, really thankful that I blessed them with Hobie. I mean, who wouldn't? But one thing that, since we are talking so much about saxophones and I'm biased, so obviously my head went into that meme of him mispronouncing saxophone. I wouldn't do that here, guys. I am scared of YouTube algorithms, but if you know the meme, you know the meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. Go ahead, Nikki. You got another question for Andrew? Holly's in here cracking a rib in the chat. The one other question.
Andrew, you have created such a big such a big community for yourself, right? And you said that when it wasn't working, you were quite discouraged. I get that feeling a lot. But now that you have this community, I just want to know how, because I can understand you still have those up and downs in your daily life. So I just wanted to know how that community helps you get back on your feet in a way, if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, so every Thursday is when I have a video come out. And so, I obviously, I would say my best and worst day typically of mental health for the week is Thursdays, because there's the initial, the one side of me says, is the video going to do well? Is it doing well? How's it doing? And I have that, I won't say stress, that's not the right word, but that kind of fixation on it. And then even if it's super disappointing and not the views that I would like to see from it, all I have to do is just open up the comment section and start reading, and my entire mood changes, because it's I will always say that again, not only is it an extremely nice community, but I've started to get to know people just because they comment on every single video. So I look forward to finding their comments on the videos every single week when it comes out, and just done ooh, when I see that person's comment, I know I'm gonna have a smile on my face. I know seeing that is it's seeing a message from your friend or something. That's a good job, it was so fun. Even something like that is just seeing those kind of things on a consistent basis. It can really help kind of turn my mood around if it is a harder day or something.
Yeah. So we have, speaking of, because you just said it, Isla Blue says, love from Scotland. Hi to the highest hi to High Priest Andrew, and thanks for all three of you for really entertaining and deep chat. I've cried, laughed, and exclaimed same. Hi to Caitlin, the wife, too. Yes.
I love the word Caitlin, the wife, by the way. Caitlin, if you're here, I guess one day we all should get together. Also, I visited Glasgow, by the way, so I love Scotland. Scotland is beautiful.
I want to go, but Carla's going to clown me in the chat because I've been saying this for the past. She's gonna clown me, and she has every right to, because for the last 5 years I have known her. I keep saying I'm gonna get a passport, and I have yet to go get one. So she's gonna clown me hardcore in the comments, and I'm okay with that because that is a running joke for the last 5 years, and I am gonna get it. I am gonna get it. So
let's see.
Yeah. So one question I had, and this is being an older army, right, and a male on top of that, which the media always seems to think you guys don't exist, and y'all are in here, okay? Y'all are
I
thick,
know.
y'all are in here.
Yes.
How when other people, when you first got into BTS to where you are now, and the people in your lives who have seen this change or who have seen your channel that know you on a personal level, how has their reaction been to you in regards to getting into BTS when you first started versus now? Is it the same? Is
Yeah.
it
So,
different?
um, like one thing I noticed a lot, which I think is, I would say, it was probably most because I'm a guy. Is I know almost everyone either, so people who knew me like back when I first did it, or just like a new person that I'm meeting now who finds out that that's something that I do. Almost everyone just assumes it's because like, oh, there's like views in that, right? Because it's such like a big fan base, so you're just like, in it for that. And like, I have to be like, well, no, like I just genuinely I just genuinely enjoy the music. Like, I mean, I like, that at the end of every year, Spotify has like your most played artists and that kind of
Yep.
thing. I can guarantee you that this year it's BTS. Like, I think last year they were number 2 on the list, but I think this year, like, I don't think there's a question in my mind that they're going to be number 1. Like, it's just gonna happen. Um, and it's like, yeah. So I think people often just assume that either, or people, there's sort of people who even like watch channels, people who like just know me and don't know the group that well. I feel like they assume that it's just like, the stereotypical boy band. It's only for like, teenage girls to listen to, and all of the usual stereotypes that I know
Mm-hmm.
Army is very used to hearing. Um, and then like a few people I've been like, okay, listen to this, and I'll put on like On or something, and be like, you're gonna tell me this is like a, like a stereotypical, like, no, don't give me that.
Yeah.
This is like Fall Out Boy rock or something. This is like not at all that same. It's a completely different thing. And then, getting into, of course, the more like emotional music, and then, but even just getting into like even their I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say with all this is like they have so much different kind of music, but like even if it was just like a pop group and I liked it for that reason, like I also kind of say like, who cares? Like, it's all that also has that of like, that's fine. Like, I can like that music. Like, I don't know what the
Yeah.
problem is. And I think people also are kind of like, oh, but it's in like Korean, like you can't understand it, so it can't be that enjoyable. And I'm like, okay, first of all, you're talking to a musician who listens to a lot of instrumental music. So obviously, like, understanding every word when I hear it is not going to be the most important thing in the world to me, like, just off the bat. But like, again, it's like, you don't like when you hear a song like First Love you mentioned earlier, right? Like, when you hear that song, you can't possibly tell me like, I can't feel the emotion in that song. Like, I don't know what it means. It's like, no. You can very, very clearly hear, like, I mean, you might not know the entire story, but you can definitely feel like the emotional journey of the song, like if you
Yeah.
just pay attention to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of closed mindedness. They don't want to
Yeah.
be open to what the potential is. And some of the comments, like Connie, baby, I love you. You be in here. She's like, yeah, my Spotify rap is usually a list like BTS, whichever member really solo stuff, and all other members. And then Carla
See,
said, well, that she's watching cooking while she's watching us. Girl, don't burn nothing. I don't want you will not have us be responsible. Just
mama.
saying. Tammy D says, I am almost 62 years old. When I bring up the boys, I get that look, honey. I know all about that look. I get that side eye. We get it every time, all the time. And I get it right back because I'd be like, you the one missing out. It ain't me. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah. And then Holly said, people mock what they don't understand. If they take the time to listen, they would think differently. Absolutely. It's about
Yeah.
being open to what's out there. And I mean, also understanding that BTS is not for everybody. We're not asking everybody to become
We
ARMY,
don't even need everyone.
to be a part of it. I mean, we would like it, yes, but it's not a requirement. But at least give it a chance. And if it doesn't flow with you, it doesn't flow with you. So I'll tell you, my husband is not into BTS at all. Okay, just not at all. And he always goes, "Oh, you watching your Korean boys?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Bye. I love you. By the way, can I have a hall pass? Because if something goes down at one of these, I need a hall pass. I just need to know it's gonna be okay." So we've already got that established. But and for those of you that don't know what a hall pass is, y'all can DM me later and I'll tell you all about it.
There can
Anyway,
be 80% people over. Let's not talk about hall pass.
I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. This is we got you see Tammy 62. Tammy know what's up. So I'm just saying.
I'm 23. I don't know what a hall pass is.
We'll talk later. But Andrew, with that, to say that in the effect is that one day, I sat here and rewatched their PTD concert when they did the replay. I got to go to the concert, but I also got to watch the replay. And my husband, he was like, "I'm gonna sit in here and watch the concert with you." And I was like, "Excuse me, you finna do what? What you finna do?" And he said, "I'm gonna sit in here and watch it with you." And I'm like, "Okay." So of course, in my head, I'm thinking like, well, now my husband's sitting here, so that means I can't nut up like I normally do and fangirl, because he's gonna be like, "Oh, you're gonna But I was like, but also the fact is that's who I am. I love them. I love who they are. They make me happy. They make me giddy. They make me feel like a 16-year-old girl fangirling and screaming bloody murder. Like, I love them. So we sat here and he just sat on the couch and I'm sitting here and I'm just, watching and, all the different stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, it was so beautiful. Black Swan come on, that sends everybody, and I'm all flipping out and I'm just like, I was there. I think that's my section. Knowing I can't see myself in any of it. But
yeah,
I say that to say at the end of it, don't corrupt our volunteers. I won't.
Mama is like, don't corrupt our volunteers.
I won't corrupt our volunteers. I'll try not to. But I will say, since she said don't corrupt, I like to put this out there, everybody, that I am not a bad influence. What I am is a life enhancement specialist. Okay, so you write that down. It's copyrighted. I own it. I have it on a T-shirt. Okay. I am not a bad influence. I am a life enhancement specialist. Okay.
Yeah. Basically, Tiff is here so she can babysit me.
Pretty much. But at the end of the concert, my husband said, he's like, even though their music may not be for me, I have to say that they give a really good concert. They tell a really good story with their concert. And I ain't gonna lie, I had to clutch my pearls because I was like, excuse, what? What? Okay, I'm gonna take it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
So sometimes it's just like, even though they may not vibe with the music, right? They can still say, yes, they give a really good show, or yes, their concert was really good, or I can see why you like them, even though they may not be for me. And, sometimes it takes, time for people to get there. But, so long as we stick to what we believe in, I think, and hold true to who we are and what we find enjoyable about it, yeah, people are going to make us mad, but ultimately we're still going to, Tammy says she wants to fix them a big meal and feed them. I just, honestly, I just want to play cards. Like, I want to teach them how to play spades, and I want to play spades with the rap line. Like, I'm trying to be in the rap line, having some beers, like, just bam, talking all kinds of stuff, and then just telling them how much I appreciate their music. But I know deep down I'll never be able to say that, because
I have said this a lot of times. If I come across any of the members, right, I have said this. If I see them, I'm going to tell them how much I like them. I know for a fact, if I see them, and I have anything that can tell I am an army, I'm gonna hide it and run away. Because I can't just imagine what I'll do. Because if I stand in front of them, and try to talk, right, I would be just staring at them and not say a single word.
So I'm curious, Andrew, if you met them, what would you say? What would be your reaction if you and the missus, the missus got to meet them?
So it's hard because like if I met them like casually on the street, I wouldn't want to like interrupt them, right? So there's that part of it.
Right.
But if I was, met them, was able to like talk to them about whatever I wanted, I think honestly, like
it's so hard.
Part of me says I just want to sit down, Suga specifically, but like I'm cool with whoever wants to join, and I just want to like pick their brain at like what their process is like. Like I want to know.
Can help with that.
What was that?
I'm saying I can help with the brain analysis thingy. I have all the instruments. Just tell me when I need to get there.
That's funny. But yeah, like I just want to like find out like what they, because they have such different music. Like I feel like it's unusual for a group to have so many different like genres and everything. Like I just want to know like how do you get to a spot where you even have an idea to like do a song in a different genre that you're not used to, but then actually like get into it and actually, I don't know. So like my ideal situation is I sit down and just like have like a nice like dinner with them and just pick their brains about what they're doing.
I think ultimately
Ayla basically used the Ayla basically used the important business meme from the Bon Voyage.
I think initially, I really think that that's what army, like, as much as, we all talk about how wonderful they are, like, if any of us really had the opportunity, I feel like the only thing we could really say is like, thank you. Like,
yeah.
It's so hard to really we can do it here amongst ourselves, but if they were to ever come face to face, it'd just probably be like, thank you. And did you eat?
Yeah.
Can we eat? Can we eat together? Like I want to.
Can we have spicy ramen together?
Yeah, I would love to eat with them. Like that would probably be the
they
best.
They eat like giants. I love the way they eat. They don't shy away in front of the cameras when
they make me hungry.
Who cares about that camera?
Yeah.
I feel like what I really want to do is just like order like a few pizzas and just like sit down at like a park benches or something. You know what I mean? Just like hang out and just like yeah.
And then Jin going P-I-J-J-J-J.
Holly said, yes, Tiffany, I'd really just like to say thank you. Yes, can I give him a hug? Like, I think like my life would be like made. I mean, I love my husband, my son, right? But if they hugged me, like that would probably surpass my wedding. But my husband has headphones on and he's playing a video game, so he doesn't even hear me right now. But that would probably
I have a new inspiration to get a Nobel Prize in biology, and that is, so when I get those 5 minutes of speech, right, I can give that 5 minutes wholly to BTS. I'll be like, I'm here thanks to BTS. Just imagine me being in between all these biologists thanking BTS. Because I told my mom that if I get Nobel Prize anyway, that's a very big dream and not going to happen. But if I get it, I'm not going to talk about you or my family or myself. I'm taking the time to tell the world how I feel about BTS because that's my only chance for BTS to listen what I want
helping me get this Nobel Peace Prize. I would like to thank them for all that they have accomplished.
Nobel Biology Prize because I'm a biologist. I'll get the neuroscience or something like that prize. But be careful. Mama, I eat spicy ramen every single day. That's my meat.
Lottie says, I just want to teach RM how to cut vegetables. Can we all just
Oh
collectively
man.
can we just hold his hand and just say, look, hon,
Oh,
like, this is what you do.
thank you,
Just do
Tony.
pre-cut vegetables from now on. Like, just I don't want you with anything sharp. We need your hands to continue
Yeah.
writing and making wonderful music. Just no
Excuse
sharp.
me, has anyone seen that video of I'm trying to
Cut
cut,
a
cut a carrot?
bless them.
But thank you, Dahlia, for your Nobel Prize wishes.
Yeah.
But a long, long journey. I have to still get a PhD for that.
Andrew, I had a whole nother question, and for the life of me, I just cannot think of what it is. It is driving me insane because I'm looking at
Oh
you.
man.
I'm like, I got this question, and it's gone.
Yeah. I mean, so like, I think if we're getting to like cooking things, you know, I think what we all really need to do, like if we all just kind of think about it for a second, I think that we all need to ask Tay to remake his sauce of his squirrel in the garden, so we can all just experience what that was really like.
It was enigma in itself. That sauce was more important than the main dish itself.
Oh, it was. That was the most. I mean, it came in a squirrel, like, you know.
Yeah.
Where his knife keeps slipping off the carrot. Yes.
Yeah. Vegetable cutting. Hajima. Yeah, definitely. We don't. Do you cook,
Gotcha.
Andrew? I know this was totally random, but do you cook?
Mm-hmm. I tend to be the cleaner in our house.
Understandable. Got it.
I am not
I mean,
ashamed at all.
Was that?
I'm not ashamed at all when I say that I don't know how to cook and I am basically RM in the kitchen. I have almost tried to burn the whole kitchen down twice this year.
Yeah, no, let's not. Let's not. No. Somebody watching. Somebody watching.
You'll get there.
Yeah, the squirrel plate and the piece of potatoes. Yeah, I like to cook. I will say though, since getting into BTS, and then our CFO Debs got me down the K drama. That's the question. Do you watch K dramas, Andrew? Have you like ventured onto that side of the Korean culture spectrum of like K dramas and stuff? Because
I have not. I think, I mean, I guess I would say the furthest that I've gone would be I watched an episode of Squid Games, but no, that doesn't really count exactly. But
at least you tried. At least you tried.
Yeah, I mean, for that one, it was mostly just because it was like it's a very bloody first episode, and I just wasn't in like I was like in the I'll watch this later kind of a thing.
Carla has a question. She's asking, "What's your favorite thing to eat, though?"
What's
like
your favorite food to eat?
Oh, favorite food. Oh, sorry. Favorite food to eat. I mean, if I had to pick, this is gonna make everyone who's like vegetarian or vegan upset, but if I had to pick like one thing, I would say like I just love like a good like filet mignon. Like just like a nice like buttery steak, you know? Just
butter. No.
Yes.
Sorry, y'all please excuse my silliness. Just
no, I'm a vegetarian. I don't know what my reasons are, but it's not the reasons that people give. I have just been a vegetarian my whole life. My parents hates me for that, by the way, but I can't do anything about it.
I don't know. I'm not really a steak person, but my favorite food for anybody that knows me, and Carlos, the main one, that I love me some tacos. Like, and I don't mean like Taco Bell tacos. Like those are not tacos. Like yeah. I need the ones from the place that look like the health department should shut it down.
Yes.
Like those. The best.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I need
tacos that are like from like a taco truck, you know, and like they have this like a thing of meat that has been there for some amount of time. You don't know how long it's been. You don't really care, but they just that's I agree.
Yeah. Those.
Now that now that we are at the end of our live stream, right? I want to do this thing because I'm shameless and plugins are important when you don't have subscribers on your YouTube channel. Guys, don't forget to go and subscribe my YouTube channel. I'm very chaotic there.
I'm
Yes.
subscribed.
Yes. And also, yeah, Andrew, definitely, yeah, because I just realized what time it is. And y'all, I ain't trying to be rude, but I'm actually going to go meet another Army friend and we're going to meet up for lunch.
Oh,
So,
that's
and she's
great.
taking me to this Korean place and it's called Tofu something. And I was like, first of all, please tell me they have something other than tofu because it's not
Yeah.
going to work for me.
Yeah.
And they do. So I'm super excited. But Andrew, yes, make sure you tell everybody about your YouTube channel and where they can subscribe and everything.
Absolutely. Well, if you just type in my name into YouTube, Andrew Berg, B-E-R-G, is the last name, I'm sure that I will come up, especially if you search for other BTS content. But yeah, I do reactions every week. I do Run BTS live streams over on Twitch because YouTube blocks them now, unfortunately, for live streams. But yeah, oh, also one thing I do want to like promote, I guess, is I've mentioned a couple times I'm doing this BTS Music Explained series, which I think is really fun and kind of unique. Because I think we've all watched like X song explained by, and then like whether it's DK TV obviously has like a lot of explained videos from a Korean perspective. Something like Bookish Theories has more of like the theory and stuff behind it. I look at the music itself and how that interacts with the lyrics of the song, but also how it interacts with the like emotions and actual like message of the song. So I've done one for Lie, which I think was
I saw
really
that
good.
one.
I'll say it.
I saw that one, and you were just like, oh, "I love this," and I'm like,
yeah,
you know what he's talking about.
Yeah. I've done Lie. Life Goes On. I talked about like how the vocal harmonies they chose like actually like inspire some of the emotions that you feel listening to the song. And then I did one more. I did Black Swan, which that one I think is very underrated for my videos, but that one at the end I think I had a cool like, just gotta watch it. It's a good video. I think I was very proud of that when I had the like epiphany moment when I was like researching for the video. I was just like, I am so excited to get this thing out to people because like it is just like it has a really cool ending to it.
Because that'd be next. So guys, so guys, thank you so much for coming and joining us on our live stream with Andrew Berg. Andrew, thank you so much for coming. It was so much fun to talk to you and get to know you on a personal and Army level. And thanks to your wife, Caitlin, who was hopping in the comments and showing love. So we really appreciate all of our...
I just want to...
Oh, you're going to plug in? Okay, girl. Do it.
No, not the plug-in. I'm done with the plug-in. But I just want to say and remind you all that the next month is not going to be a month where me and Tef will be together. It's going to be either me or Tef coming live and just having a chaotic time with all of you. So don't be worried. And we'll get back to this system again in December. So, I mean, join us and be chaotic with us. But that's about for this month. This is the last video of this month. And I'm really glad that you all came and you all supported. This is the first video for a guest to be here. So thank you so much, Andrew.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it has totally been a blast. Can't wait to work with you more in the future. I think it's going to be awesome. And again, thank you to everybody who has commented, that hopped on and watched. You guys are awesome. Again, just making this live that much more fun by having you guys in the comments. So make sure you guys subscribe to our channel. Make sure you subscribe to BTS Army Help Center on Twitter. Again, just know that if there's anything you guys are going through, you want to vent or talk about, you're more than welcome to DM us. If somebody does not get back to you right away, somebody will. So please just hold on, and somebody will speak with you guys. But we are always
Also,
going to be a
just to
listening
add,
ear for you guys.
I also just to add things, we at Army Help Center don't provide therapies. We are just a listening ear. Please do remember that. And those who haven't subscribed to Andrew's channel, please go and subscribe to Andrew's channel.
Yes.
And I won't say the same thing another that I said a few minutes earlier, but you know what I want to say, because Tip is going to kill me, guys. But yeah, thank you all, and it's been a great time. Yes, you can also add AHC or Army Health Center on Instagram for updates and everything. And thank you, everyone, and
Yes.
we'll see you in the next live.
Yep. Bye.